It's good to know that you're still there with us. Moving on to the conversation in proper. If you could remember, last week, President Muhammadu Buhari said something, and that one has generated a lot of controversies in the space of politics and among Nigerians. And that word that he said was that I have fulfilled all campaign promises to Nigerians. And that one is coming from President Muhammadu Buhari. He telling us that he has fulfilled all campaign promises. Well, the details of that conversation, while he said that he has fulfilled all campaign promises, he said one thing. He said he has delivered in the areas of economy, education, security, anti-corruption, and other areas. He said his campaign vows centered on enriching the economy, enhancing security, and the fight against corruption. Buhari also said, "Let me remind us all that my campaign to become the president in 2015 was built on the promise to improve the security, strengthen the economy, and combat corruption. It is with immense gratitude to Almighty Allah that I make bold to say that we have delivered on the three promises." At my inauguration, the country was practically under the siege of terrorism and other forms of insecurity. I state boldly that the war against terrorism has been fought and won, as all the terrorists lost to these groups have been reclaimed, and terrorism in Nigeria today is breathing its last breath. And one last one of what he said that I will quote. He said, "It is also noteworthy that under my watch, Nigeria rose from the brackish waters of near economy collapse to being acknowledged as the largest economy of the African continent." To discuss the achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari, which he said that he has fulfilled all his campaign promises and he has delivered them well to Nigerians, we have with us in the studio someone from Act Up Africa, and that is in person of Mr. John Oluwafemi. I'm definitely sure that he's going to do justice to the achievement of President Muhammadu Buhari in the last 8 years. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I know you've heard what I read out as regards the achievement of our president. He said he has fulfilled all campaign promises. Now, you specialize in budgetary analysis. You also engage well with Nigerians as regards implementation of policy. How well are we going to say President Muhammadu Buhari has achieved?
Thank you very much. Just like the president said, maybe I don't understand the word fulfilled, because looking at the slogan, the mantra they used in 2015, they used the word change. Then when they came in 2019, maybe that was why they said they are not going to use change. So they actually said they want to move to the next level. I think Nigerians should blame themselves anyway for still having President Muhammadu Buhari in the office, because we voted for him. Whether we like it or not, we voted for him. So government should be based, voting for people should be based on their achievement. And if we are truly voting based on competence, character, and every other C's of leadership, of delivery, if we are actually voting on those bases, I don't think by now President Muhammadu Buhari will be telling us that he has actually delivered on his promises. Let's quickly, because before we can actually explain this very well, we have to actually highlight some of those promises he actually made.
Okay.
In 2015, he gave us the promise that let's pick the dollar. part of, but I think at some point he said he wasn't the one that actually said it, but it was mentioned on his behalf. And I think that's what we are actually going through in this process also as well, that he didn't mention that it's going to make $1. They say $1 to a naira. He said he didn't mention that, but he didn't promise us that $1 will be times 800 our own currency. So looking at that, the baseline, I think the baseline when they actually got the dollar to naira was, I think, around 200, if I'm not mistaken. I think around that region. It's not even up to 200. It's actually not up to 200. Now we have taken it from, it moved gradually from 200 to 250.
There's something that appears on the TV screen now.
Okay.
And if you look at the charts as regards dollar.
Yes. That was why I was very sure. So
that's in 2015.
It was 190.
190.
It was not even up to 200.
But now
we have 740 naira. If you will get it for 740 naira.
Only if you get it.
Yes.
And now for fuel, it was at 7 naira.
Yes.
But now 300. Only if you are going to get it
at that price as well. Because I bought the last one I bought for 350 naira.
Now kerosene was 150. Now it is 1,000 naira.
1,000 naira.
And that is what the average home, Nigerian home,
are using.
So we no longer use our stove again.
Yes,
we can't
yes, of course. And there's only few people that are using gas. If you go among the locals, there's only few among them.
The diesel 155 naira, now 900. So how has business owners also be surviving this one?
Yes.
Cooking gas.
Yes.
This should be a substitute to kerosene.
Yeah.
From 180 to 850 naira.
And I think that it ought to have been part of what we will have used as input for achieving sustainable development goal, because in the area of clean cooking system, but now a lot of people are actually going back to what they used to do, using wood. Yes.
And that's one will not even help the space in becoming more clearer.
Of course, at all.
And let us look at rice also. A bag of rice was 8,000 naira. Now it is 46,000 naira. So
yes.
The minimum wage increase,
yes,
or minimum wage rice cannot even buy a bag of rice.
Cannot buy at all.
Bread was 300 naira. Now 1,000
naira. That means if you are a worker and you are collecting minimum wage, you can only buy at least one bread per day with your money. So that means you buy 30 bread in that. Yes, with the amount we are talking about.
Chicken was 2,500 naira. Now 10,000 naira. How do we survive this Christmas?
Yes, the last one, everybody went back to normal. I love the President Muhammadu Buhari is actually teaching us sense. A whole lot of sense.
Flights was 13,000 naira.
Yes.
An average Nigerian was able to afford that. But now it is 80.
Only if you get it for 80,000 naira.
I don't want to talk about insecurity, but let's just move on to the debt profile.
Okay.
From 9.7 billion.
Yes, now to 98.6 billion. Yes.
And President Muhammadu Buhari said he has fulfilled all campaign promises.
I've said it. They used the mantra change in 2015. And since we cannot actually evaluate achievement based on all these facts, a lot of them will be telling us GDP. Sometimes I just look at it that it seems we are the one that invented English, because we come up with all these vocabularies, and once we start saying all these vocabularies, and Nigerians, those at the top echelon of the whole thing, will be saying all those things they want to say. Like, if we cannot actually judge them based on what they have done between 2015 and 2019, then now they discover that it won't make sense for us to use the same word change anymore. So they use the next level. And that's the next level we are talking about. That's like the rise from baseline to like maybe 400% increase on everything. In fact, some of those things that you are even talking about, if they are available, it will have been a better thing. Well, they are not even available in the first place.
For you, our dear viewers, to be part of this conversation, you've been hearing what we're talking about, and that is the achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari. It's 11 days to another electioneering where we are going to elect another president into position of power. To join the conversation this morning, you can simply dial the number that will appear on your TV screen. for you to contribute to the program. Do you think President Muhammadu Buhari has delivered his promises to Nigerians? He also talked about corruption, Mr. John.
Yeah.
He said by the time he came to office that corruption was at its peak, but now it has been reduced to the barest minimum.
I don't know the yardstick they are using to actually measure that, because it is under this government that we've had those things that we have never had in our lives before. We had snake swallowing money. We had a monkey destroying money. We've had fire gotten where they actually kept money. It's under this government. So, and till today, we have not been able to prosecute anybody based on that. Let's leave that. We have trader money.
Okay.
Yes, trader money. Till today, I don't want to use the blanket word, but I can still tell you that a lot of people today cannot actually pinpoint those people that actually got the money. Now, corruption is not until when you steal money, when they place money somewhere and you steal it. But when you don't utilize the money and we can't get value for the money we have spent, it's corruption. Because the purpose of you being in governance is to harness all the resources and give the people value. Till today, we talk about, do you still remember what happened, the documentary that saw some of these national stations also, I think you also shared it on your TV station, where they discover oil theft here and there. Nobody has been prosecuted till today. We've not had anything, and we are still talking about you have achieved on your corruption, anti-corruption campaign. No, for me, go and look at the number of cases that EFCC has actually prosecuted. The number of cases they lost was more than the number of cases they won.
So what must have been, what are we going to credit this to? Because we know and we voted for President Muhammadu Buhari on the fact that
he's going to fight corruption. Yes.
Now, are we going to say that corruption in Nigeria is bigger than the president?
No.
Because you cannot say that he's in support of the corrupt system.
Yes, for me, I think the buck stop on the table of whoever is the leader. So for me, I won't exonerate him that like we won't say that it supports corruption. Now, if your government, the reason why we actually voted, because I tell people, if you make mistake in 2015 to have voted for President Muhammadu Buhari till 2019, if you vote for him 2019 again, it wasn't a mistake, because one of the basis for sending Jonathan and his cabinet away was on the basis of corruption and insecurity. The issue of Chibok girls what actually put the icing on the cake. You know. So for me, I think we can't just say, and we can't isolate President Muhammadu Buhari from the performance of his government, because for me, he is a former general. I think a national newspaper is still calling him General Muhammad Buhari till now, because they said that's what they are going to be calling him. Now, how can we now justify the fact that you have been a former general, you know all these chiefs,
and yet we could not
achieve all these things?
This caller agrees with the topic. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, Mr. Adewale from Kontagora.
From Kontagora.
Yes, sir.
Your opinion, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. You see, let us thank God that President Muhammad Buhari came to power.
Okay.
As if he didn't come to power, two things might have been observed. Number one, as if Buhari didn't come to power till he died, people will be worshipping his grave as if a Messiah, an angel of God that we're supposed to have in this country, we didn't have it till he died. People will worship his grave and pray for him the way we pray Jesus, we pray Muhammad every day. Secondly, as if Buhari didn't declare in 2015 as a winner, Nigeria must have half simple of the second time. you understand what I'm saying. But with all this, they give him trial, and then look at how he just mess up everything. He disappoints his party. He disappoints his family. Why he got votes? He got votes every region of the Nigeria. Because we got 90% of us, we believe in him that he will deliver.
Thank you so much for Kotangora.
Look at what is happening now.
You've made a point. We appreciate that. And for you other viewers to be part of this conversation as regards to what President Mahmoud said, that he has fulfilled and delivered to Nigerians on his campaign promises in 2015. What is your own opinion on that? Let us hear from you in all area of Nigeria that you are watching us at the moment. And now you said that Nigeria has not been voting on the basic C's that you are supposed to be using, the common competence, and we have A's also, which is accountability and the others. Now, what has been the basis of we voting our leaders? Because we are to take another decision very soon again. But before you answer that question, okay, we lost that call. What have you been voting
For
on?
me, I believe Nigeria, we have always been, I tell people that they always talk about ideology. They ask questions about whether we have ideology. I think the ideology that we have in Nigeria, the ideology we have in Nigeria is religion and ethnicity.
Let's hear from this caller. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Where are you calling us from? Your name?
I'm calling from Delta State.
From Delta State. How is Delta this morning? What is your opinion on the topic?
Delta State is fine this morning. My opinion is not just downstairs. What is happening in the country is something that is clear to everybody. You don't need to be educated to know what is happening in Nigeria. Everyone accepts the truth. Everyone has seen what is happening. So my advice this morning is that we should do this time around.
Okay.
We should do this time around. The issue of our fulfilled policies has different definition.
Okay.
To him, they have a different definition, and to us, we have a different definition. I don't know whether you are getting me.
You're getting you.
I have fulfilled my campaign promises of change. And we saw a change in the 58 years placed on our PTR station. But if I have swear for that price, it's not higher price. It's a kind of change.
Thank you so much.
So for me, I believe what the campaign promises of change. I will feel the change.
Thank you so much from Delta State. He made it clear. He said his campaign vows centered on enriching the economy, enhancing security, and the fight against corruption. And he said that Nigeria has the best economy in Africa, and corruption has been forced to the barest minimum. And he said terrorism has been fought totally. And he said those things. Now,
I think that Nigerians will not agree with that. In fact, the last statement is actually the bomb. No Nigerian will actually agree to that. Because what is terrorism? When you have external aggression or within, we have both now. And it's on the larger scale. I don't want to compare failure with failure. So I don't want to compare Jonathan as if Jonathan was this government is making it look like as if Jonathan was an angel.
And that was the problem. I keep on saying that the lapses in this government has made us to forget how
the lapses of the previous government.
So now we're moving on, like I asked earlier.
Yes.
That
what basis should be our now, like my thought that before what we used to vote for is religion. We vote on the basis of religion. We vote on the basis of tribalism. When Tinubu brought this our president, I'm sorry for using the word this, our president, when he brought him, you know, they knew that if they use religion, it will work. and they were selling him to some people based on the basis of religion. To the northern people, they were selling him on the basis of religion and tribalism. And he was telling, that mantra they used that time, after his own tongue, it will be our tongue. That's exactly what is happening presently. So for me, I think, just like what I said during one of our conversation, that poverty doesn't understand tribalism. It doesn't understand religion. And I think what we need to start looking out for now, you mentioned one of them, government that will be accountable to its people. That will be accountable. Accountability doesn't mean in terms of money alone, just as corruption is not in terms of money alone. A government that cannot listen to the yearnings of its people is not accountable. It's not responsive. Like the problem we have been facing. If imagine president telling us that give me 7 days to think about it, what are you thinking about?
It's a critical thinking. Let us hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Taraba.
From Taraba State.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What is your opinion on the topic?
When you see what is happening in this Nigeria now, you will see that the government of Buhari have said that they are fighting corruption. But is it true that they are fighting corruption? Okay, out of him also, is he not be among the people that even involved in this corruption of this nation? Now, when you see what is happening now in 2019 election, is it what the election? When you see all those people, he was saying that he was fighting the corruption, and then when you see his government now, you see that he was following the tribalism. So the problem that I have in Nigeria now, that until we leave the issue of tribalism in the nation, okay, in this government now, okay, all the people that are heading all the offices, all of them are Muslim. So is it to now, and it was said that he wants to buy the corruption. Is it fulfill the assignment that the problem that promised Nigeria that do better than good?
Lord Jonathan, we appreciate. He has said some certain things, and he even talk about we having free and fair elections.
Yes, I think part of those things that we actually need to look out for also is competence. A government that you have to vote for, you need to check their track record. Are they competent? See, it is now proven that there are some certain governments in this country, certain party in this country, that if you vote for them, they are going to follow the same pattern. Go and look at the state where they have performed. You can actually marry them together. I'm not campaigning for any party, but the truth is I'm a Nigerian too. I'm in the civil society, and I should have my opinion. We have actually been pushed to the hedge. It's just the Nigerians, just like they normally say, we are the happiest people on earth. Maybe because of our.
And that's why we have that ministry in Imo State, Ministry of Happiness. Hello, good morning. So we lost that. There was this Ministry of Happiness that was created by the former governor Richard Sokolocha,
yes,
in Imo State.
In Imo State. You don't need to create Ministry of Happiness. Just pick your phone, pick the Instagram. You will laugh from morning to night, despite the fact that you have a whole lot of burden on your head. We have skit everywhere, skit maker, because they know that the only therapy that can save Nigerians for now is just laughter. And we have that one enough. So there is no need for anybody to create
people
ministry
are thriving on that. So
yes, of course. Because this Nigerians are creative.
Could that be related to the words of the legendary late Fela Kuti that he said that suffering and smiling?
Yes, this is what Nigeria is. I was saying it the other time. If it had been another country, I don't want to use the word of any presidential candidate. Let me use my own word. That if it has been another country, none of our leaders would have the access to walk on the road anymore. With what we are going through, you will queue for passports. Let me start from one of those things that is affecting me. You will queue for passport. You will pay extra. You will now pay extra after the extra. Apart from
tracking money.
They will tell you that there is fast tracking. There is fast tracking. These are part of the things that you go through. We go to petrol station. You have your money, but you will look like as if you are smaller than who you are when you get to police filling station. You want to collect your money from the bank. Since the time of COVID-19 till today, people still queue in front of banks. Banks, now how do we now hold all these things accountable? We are not holding anybody accountable now. It's just let me live my life. But we cannot live our life now in Nigeria. The Nigeria that we do, there's the difference between living and existing. We are only existing in Nigeria.
But let me come up with this point. Don't you think that in Nigeria today, that it is Nigerians against Nigerian? How do I mean?
Okay.
Let us take an example of what is happening in immigration service, passport capturing and the whole lot. When we had this minister.
Sorry, I won't let you finish that because I know where you are going. See, don't put the duty that does not belong to the citizen. Don't put it at their doorstep. This is what I'm saying. The citizens voted for people at the ends of affairs. It is their duty to ensure there are measures in place that will tackle corruptions. It is not the duty. In fact, opportunities makes the thief. When there is loophole, people naturally. Law X and Y naturally, human being, we have tendency to do what is not right if we are not guided.
But that's one is indiscipline and being unpatriotic.
This is what I'm saying. The truth is, even in the developed world, they are not just being patriotic. It is the system that makes it difficult for them to be uncivil. There are measures in place. Nigeria, we can put the measures in place. For example, let
us see if this caller agrees with us. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
From Port Harcourt. Good morning. How is Port Harcourt today?
Yeah, my name is Ifeanyi. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Ifeanyi, please let's have your thoughts.
Yeah, I love your conversation this morning. Just that a lot of things is happening in this country. And in the book of John 8:32 says, we should know the truth, and the truth will set us free. The truth is that people are saying the truth upon all the churches. They are not saying the truth, but the truth is all around them. Before the president came in 2015, I knew that something like this will happen. And now, like what you posted in the feed here, everybody has seen it. And it's true, but some are still denying it. How will you be free? Election is still on now. And they are still saying the truth. The person that brought the president also come out for campaign, and people are still following him. The truth is all around us. There is nothing like Nigeria. Here is the language of Nigeria. Look at how US have brought the people to come and supervise us. How many Nigerians are going to supervise the election? Africa will not be free until we leave our slave master. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ifeanyi from Port Harcourt.
I think let me quickly finish this thought of mine. See, if Nigeria, we are going to solve our problem in terms of corruption, because this president, we voted for him in 2015 because on basis of anti-corruption. E-governance should be the in thing. I can sit in the corner of my house and pay for whatever I want to pay for using my card so that I can be traced. Like, for example, I will say this one here. One of the biggest tertiary hospital in Oyo State here, they are now, is a friend of mine.
Okay.
A friend of mine said they told him if he doesn't bring new notes, they won't do anything for him. And I said, why are they even requesting for money in the first place? Can't you pay? They said they are not collecting transfer. These are opportunities for people to misbehave. These are opportunities for people to perpetrate corruption.
So when money passes through hands,
there's bound to be anything will happen. Now, this Yoruba too. They understand all these things. When the Obas in those days, they don't have the absolute power. Fine, they are Kabiesi, Kabiosi, that's what they call them. But yet the Alafin of
you have the Oyomisis.
The Oyomisis are there to checkmate him. We don't have to go to those past ages. We can do what is needed to do. Technology can do all these things for us.
So why we talk about this? Why do we even have the Senate? Why do we even have the House of Representatives?
That was why what you mentioned,
because
when I was mentioning the C's, you mentioned accountability, and that's where the issue of civil society comes in. That's where the issue of pressure groups comes in, and the citizens themselves. We can hold all these people accountable. Call them to a town hall.
This caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. We are following your program.
Thank you so much. Where are you calling us from?
From Bajumba, local government.
Okay, which state is that?
Yeah. We are planning that if that being there is where they should call back good luck to come and rule the presidential election.
Okay, thank you. We are not going back into Goodluck Jonathan's era. We are only moving forward now.
Yes,
only moving forward. Now, looking at everything that we have in the nation presently, Nigerians have been faced with hard times.
Yes.
And you know, when we are talking about hunger, there is no other conversation that we want to talk about. The ease of transportation, the ease of buying food, no new naira notes in circulation.
Yeah.
On Monday, I traveled, and while I was away out of town, I was out of cash. I wanted to use the POS, not even the bank ATM. I was limited to withdrawing 1,000 naira. I was told that there are a lot of people on the queue.
Wow.
So I cannot get more than 1,000 naira. 1,000 for each person. How do I survive?
200 naira. And they will collect 200
naira.
That's 20% of the whole money.
I wanted to withdraw 5,000 naira. I paid 1,000 naira.
Oh.
And yet nothing has been done
till now. That was what I said.
Under the pain
opportunity makes a thief.
Under the pain that Nigerians are going through presently, what should be our decision? What should inform our decision come 11 days to this day?
Yes, I think if I offend anybody, I'm sorry in advance. If anybody is telling me that is going to sustain what the already existing structure, that person is not worth to be my leader. Because the problem that we have now, if you tell me that you want to sustain this, it means that you are my enemy. That's one. Two, we need to go and look at the track record of each of these persons that we are talking about. What is their track record? Two, we need to look at whether they are competent, whether they have the character. You know, like for example, a lot of people will say, and you know, President Muhammadu Buhari, he doesn't talk, he's a taciturn. I said, if you are a taciturn, you should stay in your house. We elected you to talk to us. When we have problem, you talk to us, give us assurance. And that is why Donald Trump is not my type of leader, but someone is conversational. President Obama, he will come out, he will give you hope even when there is no hope.
Inspiring speeches.
Yes, these are the people that we want to see in Nigeria. In fact, Nigeria, we only need spark. We are fire. Spark us, we work. And this is Nigeria. So we need people like that. We need people that understand what ordinary Nigerians are going through.
Now we have our leaders dancing at every campaign.
Yes, they are not telling us anything.
Well, probably that is why we are still happy and making everything about whatsoever mistakes.
Because they understand that Nigerians, but let me excuse some Nigerians.
Okay.
Some of these events that you look at, I mean the civil society, we know how we mobilize people. We mobilize people organically sometimes. Sometimes you mobilize them, telling them that if you are going, we'll give you transport when you are going. The people you see dancing there, they are people mobilized based on the fact that when you are going, don't worry.
So what is now the probability that votes will not be bought? If they could be bought during campaign, how would they not be bought during voting process?
let me tell you, everywhere around the world, people use one thing or the other to get the votes. But it's just it is in our own climb that we use money to buy people. See, you don't have to use money to buy people. The word you say is enough. Now, for example, you asked me a question. Let me answer that question. I still believe that people are still going to buy vote. They are buying it already. Now that you don't have cash, there are politicians giving people money now already, now telling them that we are saving you now that you have problem, we are supporting you. The reason why we are supporting you is for you to help us during election. We know them. So it is not buying vote on the day of election alone. They are already buying votes already. A lot of them, they just tell you, we have INEC work they want to do, ad hoc staff. They gather their people. They know people in the INEC. They are the one that will help them into getting the INEC ad hoc job. They know people that are doing NPC.
With this problem now,
yeah.
What is the way out?
The way out is we need to raise active citizens in Nigeria. The active citizens are those people who are active enough to understand that they need to hold their whoever that is representing them accountable. You know, when we mention the word representing, people just think that we are talking about people at the House of Assembly, House of Rep, Senator. No, we actually use whoever that is leading us. They are representative. They are replicating what we have put inside them. We need to start asking them questions. Like, by now, if Oyo State government is not doing well, Twitter should be agog. Those who can use Twitter, let them use it. Like the time they actually came back to them to come and campaign, they went to all the local government. That's where they should get their scorecard, the result of their scorecard. Like, for example, they campaigned to them when they wanted to come in. They said we are going to do ABC, and just like the President Muhammadu Buhari is saying now,
so you should hold them accountable.
You start thinking. Check,
what have you done?
Check,
that you
yes, now look at the check. Yes, you said you are going to give us road in this place. Where is that road? The person will not be able to talk.
Thank you, Mr.
Until we start doing that, we are not going anywhere.
Thank you, Mr. John Oluwafemi.
Thank you very much, sir,
for coming on the program this morning.
Thank
Mr. John
much.
Oluwafemi is from Act Up Africa and also Critical Path Leadership Initiative here in Nigeria. And I hope that you have enjoyed your moment with us this morning. Don't forget what he said. He said for Nigeria to move on progressively, we need to start raising active citizens. Are you an active citizen? Am I an active citizen? That should be our thoughts for the day. While I wish you well on the day, I also hope that we have an each free one, devoid of any cash limit, devoid of any form of wealth scarcity. From our studios here in Part Africa Television, we'll be going and ending the program AM Cafe. Tomorrow is another opportunity for you to join the program. But till tomorrow, I am Oluwaseun Oyebade. Have a wonderful day.